On D-Day, one of the keys to the success of the Allied operation was going to be resting on the shoulders of the airborne troops. With the 101st and 82nd Airborne Divisions landing behind Utah Beach in the west and the British 6th Airborne Division landing in the east, these men were tasked with securing the flanks of the Normandy area of operations and disrupting the German defenses to assist the ground troops who were going to be assaulting the beaches by sea. For these paratroopers, the danger really began before they could even exit their C-47s. In his memoir, Sergeant Don Malarkey wrote that once they were over France, quote, "all hell broke loose. Big guns thumped below. Searchlights rolled around the clouds, searching for the likes of us. Tracer bullets from anti-aircraft and machine guns zinged through what was now darkness. Fires burned on the grounds from planes that had already been shot down." Now, what Malarkey probably didn't know at the time is that one of those C-47s that went down held a stick of paratroopers that included his company commander. Whenever people think about Easy Company and Band of Brothers, their mind typically goes to the company commander, Dick Winters, and rightfully so. But many may not realize that Dick Winters was not the company commander on D-Day. That was actually Lieutenant Meehan. Well, unfortunately on D-Day, Lieutenant Meehan's C-47 was shot down over Normandy. And on an earlier visit to Normandy, we actually came to this spot right here, which is a memorial set up to the men who died in Lieutenant Meehan's C-47. What maybe wasn't so clear in that video is that this is not actually the spot where the C-47 went down. That was actually a short distance from here. Now, that crash site is on private property, but fortunately on this trip, I've got Erik with me. Erik knows people who know people, and today we're going to have special access to the very spot where Lieutenant Meehan's plane went down on June 6, 1944. All right, well, we just got back here to the area of the crash site. As you can see, we've got this big hedgerow here behind me. One thing that I do need to mention is that this is private property back here. So we just went to the memorial. You can't actually go to the crash site. Erik happens to have some friends here in the area, and those friends have granted us some special access to this location. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go take a look. All right, so we are making our way through the hedgerow here, and a little bit brushy, as one might expect, and it's also been raining like crazy, so it's a little bit muddy too. All right, we just crossed over the hedgerow, and this right here is the exact spot where Lieutenant Meehan's C-47 crashed on D-Day. And as you can see, everything's grown up in corn right now. You might ask yourself, with all this corn, how can you tell that this is the exact spot where the plane went down? Well, it's because to this day, right here at this crash site, nothing grows.
We are standing at the spot where Lieutenant Meehan's plane went down on D-Day, and you can tell this is the exact spot because the crops still do not grow properly at this spot. The plane came down in this field and crashed into this hedgerow right here. And it burned for a long period of time, and that burn put oils and fuels into the soil and has contaminated it, even now, 77 years later. But the Gettysburg Museum of History has some of the artifacts that were excavated here many years ago when the owner gave permission to do so. Several museums have artifacts from this crash site, including the D-Day Experience, the Utah Beach Museum, and the Gettysburg Museum of History. And I brought one of those artifacts with me today back to the spot, and this is a true Easy Company artifact because the pilots wouldn't have had these. This is a signal cricket. These were used on D-Day, and they were issued to the 101st Airborne. It's in relic condition, so not wearing gloves because of that, and it was found right here, and this belonged to a member of Easy Company who gave the ultimate sacrifice on June 6, 1944.
All right, so right here is the place where the war ended for Lieutenant Meehan and many of the members of Easy Company. And as we were walking around, we happened to find a bullet lying on top of the ground that cooked off in the fire. So pretty humbling to be here, be in this place, and to have one of the artifacts from these guys come right back to where it originally came from.